How to fix any LiteSpeed Cache plugin error within your website. This is the question that brought you to this video. I have prepared a complete list with step-by-step instructions to correct all the errors on your WordPress website quickly and objectively. I will teach you with a complete tutorial how to correct the error you are facing without wasting your time with useless solutions. If that's what you need, then let's get to the content. Here's a very important step that you cannot neglect. Use good website hosting. 90% of the problems we encounter on WordPress sites are always related to the hosting company. In some cases, the PHP version is out of date. In other cases, PHP does not have an extension allowed or features are missing. Therefore, we recommend Hostinger servers so that you can use PHP in your hosting company, regardless of which country in the world you are in. They have multi-language support, and they serve the entire world. They have a specific plan for WordPress with management, and it is one of the best plans for WordPress. We tested several sites within these plans. From the initial plan, you can host from 100 websites, and they are compatible with absolutely everyone. All the plugins we have tested to date, we have not found any plugin that does not work within the Hostinger environment. They also have a system within the panel to check viruses within WordPress installations, make updates within the panel, and check plugin compatibility, which will help you resolve most problems. There's a link in the description, and if you're purchasing an annual plan or longer, use our link to support our channel. One very important thing, as Rochinger has a money-back policy if you don't like the product, you can simply do the following. By hosting from Rochinger, install a WordPress site. Install all the themes and plugins you have on your current website. Check if it will work. If it works, you know the problem is with your website hosting and it's time for you to migrate. All you have to do is bring your website to Hostinger. Even Hostinger does the migration for you free of charge. All you have to do is join one of their plans. I recommend Cloud Startup for sites that need more performance, and call the support team, and they will help you with the migration process. Before making any changes, you must back up your environment. It is very important to have a backup of your website. Even if it has a problem, make a backup of the website to its current state. You can ask your hosting company's support team, or you can hire Hostinger, link in the description, and you can have their automatic backup. Backing up on the Hostinger panel is very simple to do. I'm going to teach here, and almost every hosting company is the same. Within your hosting company's dashboard, you go to Files, and you will have the Backups option. Coming here to the Backups option, I can click on Create New Backup. I come to Select. It warns me that it will overwrite the previous backup. Continue, and it starts creating my backup. I have to wait until this backup is complete, so I can start making the changes that will fix the problems with the plugins and themes within my website. Okay, backup completed. Now you can go to your website, make the necessary changes. If you have a problem, it's very simple to restore the backup. You can come here to restore the website. Select the date of the backup you made. Click on Restore, and it carries out the entire process. This said hosting. If you are using another hosting company, just contact technical support, and they will help you resolve the issue and perform a restoration if necessary. This is the first step to solving problems. In fact, if you have a problem and don't have any new information on the site, you can try restoring old backups to see if it fixes the problem you're getting. Changing the PHP version can be one of the important steps in fixing a problem on your WordPress website. Regardless of whether the problem is with a theme or a plugin, the PHP version must be compatible with it. Let's go. Accessing the dashboard of my hosting system, I can go to Advanced, the PHP configuration and choose the version of PHP I want to use. Each hosting company has a different panel, but they all have the option to change PHP versions. Currently, PHP 7.4 is the most compatible with all WordPress themes and plugins. PHP 8.0 performs well within WordPress, but it still has some incompatibilities with some themes and plugins that the developers haven't updated yet. So, we recommend that you switch to PHP version 7.4. Click Update so that it applies the change. Wait about 3 minutes and try again to access your website, remembering to clear the cache every time you make a change. Increasing the memory of WordPress itself is also a step that solves many of the problems. Increase the memory available for WordPress. The first thing you have to do is check with your hosting company what the memory limit is available on your server. The one we are using is a plan specifically for WordPress. We have 3 gigabytes of memory. I allocated 1 gigabyte for PHP, and now I will also increase the memory available for WordPress. So I come here to Files, File Manager. If you host your website elsewhere, you can access the File Manager through your hosting company's dashboard. If you want to change your hosting company, I recommend that you click on the link in the description to get a discount on annual or larger plans within hosting. Access the File Manager. Go to Public HTML. WP includes. Look for the file called Default Constants. Let's look for the file. We find it here. Here is the default constants.php file. Let's double click on the file. Let's scroll in here where WordPress sets the memory limits. We will put this memory limit as 1024. Again, change it below also to 1024, and below here we have WordPress multi-sites. We are not using this structure. But if we were, we could also change it to 1024. Let's save, and that's it. From this moment, WordPress will be able to use more of the system's available RAM, which solves many of the problems with plugins that require greater use of RAM memory. One way to fix problems is also by changing the permissions of the folders where your plugin was installed. In many cases, a person unzips a zip file directly into the WordPress folder where the plugin is located, and this changes the permissions and folder owner, causing critical errors within WordPress. Let's go back to our hosting company's dashboard. I came to Files, File Manager. Access our File Manager. Our File Manager. Go to Public HTML. Access WP Content. Go to the Plugins folder, and here we find all the plugins installed within WordPress. Note that they have specific folder permissions. This is the folder permission pattern within the web. If your directory is not with these permissions, you can right-click, you can come to Permissions, and change the permissions. Note that the permission is 755. If I check any box, I change the permissions. The default is 755. Check the recursive directories and files option and click Update. Important: if you want to keep the original state of the folder, before making the change, you can right-click, come to Archive, select the file format, and it will create a backup for you with the original state. Here the permission is different, but within this zip file, the permissions remain the same as they are on your screen. Deactivating WordPress plugins is also a step that usually solves some problems. It may be that what you have within your environment is a compatibility problem and not a specific problem with the plugin. WordPress is a huge ecosystem, and sometimes some developers develop plugins that conflict with other plugins. The best way to find out if the plugin you want to use conflicts with any other plugin by coming to the WordPress dashboard and deactivating the plugins. Clicking on Deactivate the plugin is simply deactivated. However, this has a small problem. In some cases, you will not be able to open the WordPress dashboard. If your case is a case where WordPress doesn't even open the panel, I'll teach you how to deactivate the plugin in another way. Open your hosting company's panel. Go to Files and File Manager or File Manager. Click on your File Manager, and when you open it, you will have access the HTML public folder. Access the HTML public folder. On some servers, this folder may be named www. Go to WP Contents, the Plugins folder, enter it. And inside the Plugins folder, you will see that you will have folders with the names of the plugins you are using. For example, here I have a plugin called Full Wide Page Templates. What I'm going to do is deactivate this plugin, but not here. If my WordPress wasn't opening, I could just rename by clicking with the right button, going to rename, and I change the name of the folder. I will just add an underline at the end and click on rename. Change the name of the folder, and when I come to WordPress and update, I will see that the plugin has been deactivated. So if this plugin was causing a problem in my WordPress installation, I would have deactivated it, and my WordPress would be working again, thus letting me know that this plugin is a problem. If this plugin has been deactivated, as I did now, and even though WordPress didn't work again, I must continue deactivating the other plugins, renaming the folder, or deactivating them through the panel until WordPress works again. The moment WordPress starts working again, I will know which plugin caused the problem. So I'm going to go back to the folder here and return the plugin folder name to the original. Bring the name of the plugin folder back to the original, removing the underline so that the name of the plugin folder remains as it should be. I update my plugins page, and now I can activate the plugin again. All the others, except the plugin that created the error within my site. This way I will know which of the plugins I have within my environment that generated an error in WordPress. A very simple step that can solve many problems is to disable the CDN network if you use it on your WordPress. Some plugins and themes may have problems with the content that is available via CDN networks such as Cloudflare, CDN Max, among others, can be temporarily or permanently disabled to resolve issues with your WordPress site. So in our example, I'm going to go to Cloudflare and disable the CDN network. I'll click Edit on my DNS entry and disable the proxy. By clicking Save, I disable the CDN service, and in about 30 to 40 minutes, I can try again to access my website. In some cases, simply clearing the cache solves problems within WordPress. So what are we going to do? By clicking here next to the Refresh button, we go to Site Settings. Go to Delete Data, delete the data, reset the permissions, and reload the page. But instead of clicking the reload button, I'm going to press it on the keyboard, Control and the F5 key, so that I can do a reload without cache. Once this is done, the page will be reloaded without using the cache, and if I have any problems caused by the cache, it will be resolved. Time is money. If you need a team to solve problems with your applications, your infrastructure, and your web application, contact us. The link in the description has our calendar open to the public with hours and days that you can select. Check out and receive our exclusive service from a bunch of technology mad people for a client who needs it. Your time is worth a lot to us. If you don't want to, that's okay. Just watch the video until the end, and I'm sure you'll be able to solve your problem. If you want to make money solving WordPress problems, there's a link in the description that will take you to the best training there is. I want you to think about the following. What What do you think is most likely? That someone pays you $1,000 for a website that they don't even know if they need? Or that someone who already has a website working and has a problem pays you $1,000 to solve it? Solve problems with tools that already exist. It is a huge and little explored market. You have the opportunity to work on the urgency, the need of businesses that are already active. Click on the link in the description and I'm sure you'll like it. So, if none of the other steps in this video were able to solve your problem, I will now teach you how to contact LiteSpeed Cache support. Let's go. I'm going to leave the link to this page here on WordPress.org directly in the first pinned comment, so you can access exactly where I am here now. Okay. First, log into your account at WordPress.org. Access the link I left below, and let's go to the WordPress support part. Let's go. Once the support part loads, we will create a topic, which is nothing more than a support ticket that you will simply send here to the LiteSpeed Cache Plugin development team. Okay. Firstly, let's put a title for your topic here, which is nothing more than the simplest possible summary of the error you are having. Let's also add the link to your website, and now we're going to the golden tip, which is the body of the message. I'll leave this message here ready for you in the first pinned comment too. And this is the golden tip. It will make it easier for the developer who will read your message to understand what problem you are having and help you resolve it as quickly as possible. Firstly, what we are going to put in the message here is what your hosting company is. I'm going to put Hostinger here in my case. You will also include which version of PHP you are using on your website within your application there. Okay. It will also include your WordPress version and the version of the plugin you are using. Is LiteSpeed Cache. Remembering that all the information I'm putting here is just an example for you to understand how you're going to fill out this message. You put your information about your environment. I also want you to make it clear which are all the plugins you're using within your website. All active plugins within your website can cause any type of error, even if they have no connection with each other. So make it clear which plugins you have active within your website. In this case, we will have a cache plugin. If you have any other cache plugin, I recommend that you also show it here, but in our case, it is the cache plugin that we have. But in our case, it is the cache plugin that we are talking about here is LiteSpeed Cache. If there are any others, they also list them and list whether they are active or not at the time you are receiving this error. Okay, in this case, I will put LiteSpeed Cache, which is the plugin we are trying to solve the problem. It will be active anyway because it is what we are trying to use. I already taught you in this video how to activate WP Debug. If it has returned any useful information to you, I recommend that you also put it in the message, all the information you received about it, in the support message, as this can also help the developer to solve your problem. Okay, and finally, here on the page, within our body of the message that we are going to send to support, we will place two very simple texts here explaining what the process you are trying to do is, what it should do, and how is it really working, and what is the error that it is returning to you. Okay, that's all you need to do. The developer will definitely have a much easier time understanding what's happening to you and how to solve this problem with all this space that I left here for you in the first comment. Using this, you will certainly get a much faster and much more effective response from the company that will support you. Okay. Finally, I'm going to put some tags here just to give them some guidance on what this topic is about. To finish before he sends it to you. It has some little things that you can tag here about the topic. I don't think you will if you need neither of the first two. The last one, I recommend that you mark it so you can receive a notification when your support tick is responded to by email. Okay. And an addendum before we send it. Whenever you write any type of message for any type of web support, remember to write it in English, because English is the most spoken language in the world and the main language used in web. You can submit a submit. Your message will be sent to support, and they will respond to you shortly and help you resolve any type of problem you have. Beauty, the video ends here. Thanks. He spoke.